Hey everyone, we're here with Patrick McGarry, and we're going to talk to him on a cycling adventure that he is about to embark on and the fundraising effort that is the impetus behind it. And Patrick, what we want to talk to you about is what are you doing first, and then we want to understand why you're doing it, and then really get some insight into how you actually train for it. So why don't you just start by telling us what exactly are you doing on this ride?
Sure. I am riding my bicycle from San Diego, California to St. Augustine, Florida, beginning March 8th to April 20th. We are taking the Southern Tier route. It's 2,950 miles. I'm joining 12 other riders with a company called Cycle of Life Adventures, and I am riding to honor the memory of my little sister Katie, who I lost on 9/11, to commemorate the 25th anniversary of 9/11, and to exceed my goal to raise over $100,000 for Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
So Patrick, you just said you're going to ride almost 3,000 miles.
Yes.
How many days are you taking to do that?
The route, the total amount of days is 44 days, and we'll have 5 off days, and we average about 80 miles a day.
80 miles a day.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you mentioned this is for Tunnels for Towers, and you mentioned your sister. You want to give us a little more background on that? I know it's very personal to you, but I think it has a lot of meaning to the people that are watching this and for the fundraising.
Katie was visiting the World Trade Center on September 11th. She had gotten a phone call the night before from her company asking her to attend the Risk Waters Technology Conference at Windows on the World. And she went to work that day with her husband, who worked in the building as well on the 37th floor. And she had just been married 5 months. And she said they got there 5 minutes before the plane hit. And so she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And she's missed every day.
So I know you miss her, and I also know, separate from that, with her, you also had a lot of friends that you lost as well.
I did. I worked on the 96th floor of the South Tower from 1986 to 1994. So I was there for the first terrorist attack on February 26, 1993. And it had a huge impact on my life because I wound up leaving New York City. Besides losing Katie, I also lost my cousin John, who worked at Cantor Fitzgerald, and over 40 classmates, friends from co-workers from when I worked there, and friends from my neighborhood. So it was a pretty rough day.
So Patrick, that's a tremendous commitment to family and friends. It's also a tremendous commitment to ride 3,000 miles in that amount of time. So let's go back to, how did you train for this? As we're standing next to this bike, how did you train for this?
Well, I began by walking into Champion Cycling in Arlington and having a conversation with Phil and Gabe. Knew I needed a bike, and I got the Cervelo and started just getting in the saddle and riding. Picked up, started doing 30, 40 miles, signed up for a couple of events, the MS ride, the Horrible 100, a couple other small ones, and I just really just started riding. My go-to ride has been to leave the house here. I go down to the beach, catch up to A1A, and take it down to St. Augustine and back. So it's been about an 80-mile route, and that's just kept doing that over and over again. And my tack trainer.
Yeah, so your tack trainer is the indoor approach. So how many miles have you put on this trainer since you got it?
I have put on a total of 7,500 miles since April, and I would say that I probably 5,000 have been on this and 2,500 on the road.
That's a lot of time in saddle.
It's a lot.
And 80 miles you mentioned already, but is that your longest ride?
The longest ride I did was 100.
100 miles. So that was the Horrible 100?
The Horrible 100 in Claremont, Florida.
Yep. And then as far as the ride, I know that you were downloading maps from the actual ride. So have you been using this trainer to follow parts of the route already?
Yes. So what I did was I went to the company and they gave me all 44 days or 40 days that we're riding, and I downloaded the GPS files into my Garmin, and through the tack trainer, when I ride, I'm riding a day that will be on the trip. So this has given me the opportunity to do something I can't do in Florida, which is simulate mountain climbing.
Absolutely.
And it's actually pretty cool because I can not only do that ride, but I can see the things I'm going to see on the trip through my iPad. I leave the TV alone so I can watch movies while I'm doing this.
You have to do that.
Yeah.
So lastly, Patrick, is there a way that we can follow your progress on this ride? And also, how can people donate to your cause?
I appreciate that question. The website that my wife created is called A Ride to Remember 2026, and it's www.aridetoRemember2026.com. And on that website, there'll be the story of my sister, myself, the purpose of why I'm doing what I'm doing. And there's obviously a donation button, but there's also a blog button. So when you hit it, it'll take you to a site called Medium. One of my hobbies besides bike riding is I love to write, and I write on Medium. So my blog will probably be a little different than most people on bike trips. I kind of write from the heart. I'll have some data on my writing, but I'll pretty much just share what was on my mind that day. I'll probably devote some of the days of the ride, not just to my sister, but to my other friends that I lost. So I'll just share some of my thoughts and certainly pictures. So you can follow me on Medium, and you can go through the website to do that.
That's great. So Patrick, I'm not sure which is going to be harder, riding 3,000 miles in that amount of time or raising $100,000. But we wish you luck on both of those, and
Thank
we
you.
appreciate the time you took to speak with us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.